Hey, thanks for tuning in to my Stacey's Dating Chronicles. Take 4. I told you, I got so much content, you guys. You don't even, I could be doing this forever. I'm going to take one for the team on this one because I'm going to give away some things that I've learned. And my future dating texting could be in big trouble, but I'm going to do this for you guys. A couple things that I've learned along the way when it comes to texting, a little bit of the social media stuff and how quickly you let somebody in. I used to, and I'm still not great at it. I say too much in texting. Guys are real quick. They'll give you a line, one thought. And I was like, answering questions and asking more. And I'm like, it's different. It's just different. You can't do that in the dating world. I'm not saying at the end of the day, you always have to be your authentic self, okay? And, I tell this to my kids, you can't mess it up if it's meant to be. So you can't get too down on yourself about these things, you got to be you. And I'm not about game playing either, guys. I don't like games, but that doesn't mean you can't have a little game. Just so that you get the relationship to the place where they really do get to know you. Because let's face it, with all this online stuff going on, there is a lot of competition. It's just, which I hate, not competition. I don't have a problem with that. But just no one stops to really get to know you like we used to get to know each other. And it's a sad state of affairs. So you've got to do a little bit of this stuff just to get it to that place with somebody where you really get to know them. So when you're texting, first thing, don't give it, guys too, don't give too much. It's just a little here, a little there. I had one guy one time tell me, real men don't send emojis. I don't think that that's true, but it's interesting how people have different characteristics, like their self, like it comes through in their texting, right? It's interesting. One of the things I learned is send a thought and then send a thought in the next text if you want to follow it up quickly. Don't put it all in one long thing. That's the first thing. Don't ever text somebody and just be like, hey, what you up to? Now, after a while, yeah, you can do that. But in the beginning, as from a woman's perspective, I'd rather be like, hey, I'm out, man. You should be here. Oh, this is cool. You should see it. Like something a little bit more engaging than just, what you doing? Especially during Corona time. Oh my God, right? A lot of texting going on right now. The other thing is that I had this shout out to Tommy at work. There was this guy who I was interested in who I'd not talked to in a while. And I don't like to be the first to ever text a guy. Let them text me as much as possible. I try not to chase men in general, whenever possible. But sometimes, you like somebody, you kind of get into it and you want to hear from them, but you don't want to be too obvious or whatever. So my buddy goes, just send him ... I'm like, oh, that's so good. He goes, I guarantee you he'll get back. And he totally did. It was so funny. It was just like, wow, that was really good. So one thing I would say that sometimes is good if you just kind of like, I don't want to be too wordy, and I'm normally very wordy. So I've been sending a few of those thumbs up and things like that to keep myself from getting too into it, because I know I go off the rails sometimes with my texting. But I will tell you that if somebody sends me too many thumbs up and, it has never been too bad, but I've been borderline where I'm like, if I get a thumbs up, I will stop texting you altogether because clearly you're not engaged. In fact, that's what that answer would be for me is they're not engaged. They don't want to talk. They don't want to get to know me if I'm getting too many things. And that's on both sides of it, guys. If you're getting a thumbs up constantly from the girl, she's just like, oh, haha, oh, a thumbs up. She's not interested. She's really not. She doesn't want to engage with you. So those are just a couple little things with the texting game. I think I should call more on the phone once you have texted a little bit. I think it serves its purpose, but I also think you should pick up the phone and get to know somebody a little bit. Or obviously, let's meet. Don't text me for 2.5 weeks unless you're in lockdown for Corona, and not ask me out. You maybe after a week, you better be asking me to meet you for a drink, okay? If we're not in Corona time, lockdown time. The other thing is, I've made some mistakes, I think, in letting people into my Facebook too quickly. I think it takes the mystery out of you. So if you can help it, and instead of befriending somebody on Facebook right away, I would definitely wait on that. I don't think that has served me well with Instagram either. So I think, try not to touch my face while I'm It's hard. I think that's kind of it. Just a couple quick tips on the whole texting game. And hopefully your dating life is going well. And if you're in a relationship and you're like, ugh, it seems horrible out there right now. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, but it is definitely a lot different dating than it used to be. So count your lucky stars. You got somebody awesome in your life. And I wish that for everybody. So have a great, great day. And I'll see you for chapter 5, so to speak, of the Stacey Dating Chronicles coming up.